Welcome to the podcast Friday Feels, brought to you by the Office of Counseling and Wellness at Berkeley College. I'm your host and personal counselor, Sarah Nickerson. Join our journey with Berkeley students as they navigate the challenges of the current pandemic with strength, creativity, and wisdom. New episodes released every Friday. Thanks for listening. All right. Well, welcome, Carol, to Friday Feels. I'm so happy to have you here. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing pretty good. Made it to the computer room to be on this meeting. I was kind of excited about it, so
Yay!
I'm glad that I got on, that I made it.
I'm so happy that you're here. So usually we start by having the student just tell us a little bit about themselves. So whatever you want to hear, I'd love to know, or whatever you want to say, I'd love to know.
I'm back to Berkeley. I was here about 3 years ago. Of course, I had to drop out. Like I said, my mom got ill with a pancreatic cancer. And coming home from school and the smoke detector going off, I had to drop out finally. And then my dad ended up with open heart surgery. So, of course,
Wow.
I had to look out for the two parents. And then, of course, my mom ended up passing away. And then my dad got accepted. My parents are from Delaware. So,
Okay.
he got accepted into a senior citizen home back in Wilmington, Delaware, and tried to stay with a few people, and it didn't work out, of course.
Right.
So I ended up in the Park Slope Women's Shelter, and that's not my lifestyle. So it's been a year now, and I said, you know what? Let me just see what's going back on with Berkeley, if I can get back in, and they let me in. So
Wow. That's amazing. And you said did your apartment catch on fire? Is that what had happened, or?
No, my parents were ill. I was living with my parents.
Oh, okay. Because you had said the fire alarm went off.
Yeah, because she was cooking.
Oh.
And when I got off the elevator, because we lived up on the 13th floor, and the first time it happened, I'm like, where'd that smoke detector come? And sure enough, I get to the door. It was in my parents' apartment.
Wow.
And, open the door. And of course, my mom was asleep. Thank God nothing was on fire. Right. I probably came right as it started.
Right.
And then it happened a second and third time. Because I said, you know what, instead of staying all night, let me take my butt home and see what's going on with mommy.
Yeah.
And of course, the smoke detector. So by the third time, I said, you know what, I gotta drop out because the cancer was kicking in, and then my dad, he ended up having open heart surgery. So of course now I became, the housekeeper. And then finally my mom ended up in Calgary. And like I say, that didn't, if she was there 3 months.
Right, pancreatic cancer is
and
quick.
The day came when we got the call. So I have a sister, so we had to call her in. And that was that. So,
Wow.
Like I say, my dad got accepted to a senior citizen home back in his hometown, Wilmington, Delaware.
Gotcha.
And Delaware, you can't really get nothing done. Transportation is bad. And I stayed here because I wanted to come back to school anyway. So
Right.
I tried to live with a couple people here and there, but it just didn't work out. So I had to end up, of course, in the shelter system, and being it all new to me, trying to figure out how were they going to help me and what were they going to do. But because I'm on a different level life,
right,
than what is in the, the women in the shelter.
Yeah.
The program isn't fit for me.
Exactly. I know exactly.
So I finally was like, you know what? And then of course the COVID came in. So that kind of put everything on a back burner. And finally I was downtown for something around Thanksgiving last year now. And I said, let me go in Berkeley, and here I am.
That's amazing. Yeah. Wow. What are you studying?
I'm doing information technology.
That's a good field. I feel like that's something that you can really grow in.
Yeah, that's all over. And of course, I took full time because I'm in the shelter. So I got to get used to the reading and the homework because I was only part time.
Yeah, yeah.
So now I have double homework and double classes. So I'm just trying to like keep my brain focused.
Yeah.
On coming here. That's why I got to come here to the computer room because the shelter there is nowhere for me to hide in the corner to get any work done with the fighting and the name calling and whatever and everything else that's going on in there. So I said, you know what, the school is open. Let me just come and hang out here all day and all night, and at least I can get some work done. And like I said, I finally got the laptop, so I have the laptop and the regular desktop. So I have two computers. I'm in a spoiled brat world right now. So
wow.
I'm doing my best to get focused to get this homework in, because the first test for my web, I didn't do well due to the fact, I got to get used to the studying and again. And
right. It takes a minute to get back into it.
I didn't have the laptop. So now I have a laptop. And with the library still closed, I can't even go there on Sunday when Berkeley's closed. So I got to figure out how to work on Sunday where to study because the libraries are still closed because I'm by the Grand Army Plaza, which is the big library.
Right.
And then there's a smaller library on 9th and on 6th right there at Park Slope. But with them being closed, I'm kind of stuck for Sunday. Where do I, study? So that's my only issue really right now for Sunday.
Gotcha. And what were you doing before you started taking care of your parents? What did you do for work?
Well, I'm basically an entrepreneur. I do a lot of crochet work.
Cool. And I do, did you make your hat?
Yep, that's my hat. I got a face mask to it too, but I didn't wear it today. And I do Save the Earth projects. I work with cardboard and juice containers and all that trash because I belong to the Bronx River Alliance.
Oh, cool.
And cleaning up the river. That's how I became into the Save the Earth project because the trash we were pulling out, and I'm like, no, this is crazy. So I started doing bird houses and other little artwork with plastic containers and cardboard and doing jewelry. And if it's messy, I do it.
That is so cool. I would love to see if you can send me any pictures of anything that you've made. I would love to see them.
Are you on Facebook actually?
Yeah, or you could just, if you want to email them to me, I don't know. Or you have a Facebook page or?
I have my Chili Seeds Treasure Facebook page.
Yeah, email it to me and I'll take a look at it. I'd love to see it.
And I have my stuff on there. Of course, last year we didn't have our street fair because usually we have a street fair every summer. But of course, because of the COVID, it knocked that out the box. So I'm just trying to now, back to school, my little business got to be put on the back burner because my artwork can take hours also to, start and finish and let the glue and the paint dry and the glitter dry, that takes time too. So I kind of had to kick that to the curb. I do have my crochet, but with the school and now I had to kind of just put that to the back burner.
Take a pause.
And trying to figure out how to generate some cash because I'm unemployed. And I'm not getting any money. Public assistance is only giving me $22.50. Like, what am I supposed to do with $22.50?
Right.
So I'm going through a bit of a challenging moment, but I'm doing my best to stay positive. And that's why I actually came back to Berkeley because it's a better atmosphere for me. And I know I can get better assistance here than I can at the shelter.
Yes, for sure. Well, talk to me about like what gives you hope? What keeps you moving forward when things are really difficult?
What did I hope?
Yeah, like what gives you a sense of hope when things are really hard?
I grew up in a wonderful background. My parents were great. You know, we traveled around the U.S. Been out of country a few times. My dad worked at JFK, so you know he was always busy, and my mom was a housewife basically. So when we came home from school, she was there to help with homework and dinner, you know, get prepared, and I had to do chores around the house. Of course, I had my sister. I'm the oldest out of the two of us, and my family on both sides, my mom's family and my dad's family, they were well-to-do people. So during the summers, my sister and I got kicked to Delaware with family on both sides. Like 1 week we stayed with one side of the family, and the other week we went, or it was back and forth, it depended on who was going in Wilmington and who, because my mom was from Newark, Delaware, UD territory.
Gotcha.
So it was either back and forth or stayed here, stayed there. And then when my mom and dad picked us up, we usually went somewhere on a family outing. Detroit, Atlantic City was a big thing, Wildwood, New Jersey. Yeah. Of course, Great Adventures and all that good stuff. So I can't complain about my background. I really can't.
Yeah. So your upbringing and your family kind of gives you the like the strength you need. Right. Yeah, to keep moving forward.
To keep going and you know, just stay focused.
What are some of the things in this season of life with so many challenges? What are some of the things that you are really grateful for?
Like I say, having wonderful parents, being able to be strong to come back to school, because a lot of people drop out and never go back. And you know, then my artwork, I'm happy with that. And I'm eating very well. I do health food.
Cool.
Eating. So my eating for the last few years, tofu and asparagus and alpha sprouts and all that good stuff. So my doctor's appointments have been pretty good. My blood pressure is good.
That's awesome.
You know, I was working out through the summer while the COVID was in. Being I'm in Brooklyn, I found Red Hook because the buses were free. So I was riding the buses all over the place just to get out that shelter, you know, not be, you know, depressed and looking at that miserable environment to bring me down. So I started off at Brooklyn Bridge Park. And then I was on the 61 and I seen IKEA and I said, let me get off, go hang by the water. Being though I grew up by Bronx River. I said, I'll go sit here and have my lunch. And ended up walking, and what did I find? Red Hook Park, which had a track and a handball court. So started doing the handball and walking the track to keep my energy flowing, and also, like I say, to be out of that shelter from around the negativity, because it is very depressing.
For sure, for sure. I know it must be hard to kind of find time for yourself or to find time for self-care, but what are some of the things that you do that help to keep you grounded?
Well, like I say, I get up, you know, before classes, before I was back in school, I was getting up, taking my, you know, my daily shower, get dressed, and I was just leaving the building and go sit at a park. There's a couple spots around the shelter, which were nice seating areas. And then there's Prospect Park, which, you know, because of the COVID, it was so overcrowded because everybody was coming there. But then I found another little park, like a little seating area, right, like 17th and 7th, not like right around up the street from the shelter. And then, like I said, the buses were free. So I was riding every bus in Brooklyn just to be, I guess you could say, a sightseer, and just stay positive. And then, like I said, I even found the Verrazano Bridge, Shore Road Park. That was cool, but that was a nice little ride. So I did that once or twice. And then, like I said, I ended up finding the Red Hook area, which has the track field and the handball court, and it's a nice little seating area. And then by IKEA, there's a nice little set of benches where people come. Matter of fact, a lot of photographers come out there and take, photography shots. So that basically kept me in an uplifting mode to know that is other things out here beside that shelter.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of helping to expand your environment helped improve your mood. So like getting outside of that one spot.
Getting out and, and growing up, we weren't indoor children. My mom had us out in the park. And like I said, we was from every state park and barbecue and like Palisade back in the day and Great Adventures and what was the other one? City Island. So I'm used to an outdoor environment. I'm used to being out in nature. So I think that's what's holding me down a lot, just to go out and enjoy nature, the birds, the squirrels, and the raccoons, of course, that's in Prospect Park.
Yeah.
So, that's helping me stay motivated because I know that there is a better outcome than being at that show. I mean, unfortunately, I had to end up there, but I know that it's a better lifestyle beside that misery inside.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, my last question for you is if you had to give any advice or encouragement to other Berkeley students, what would it be?
Stay strong, work out, meditate, try to eat well. If there's any negativity, do your best to stay away from it. And just also encourage yourself that there is more to a downside of life. I mean, we all go through lifestyle situations. Some of us make it through and some of us don't. Fortunately, like I said, I had wonderful parents. I came up in a beautiful upbringing. My mom and dad had a 2-bedroom apartment. My sister and I had a beautiful home. There was morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I didn't grow up where we didn't know where we were going to eat. So just stay positive and, like I say, even come to the school and hang out and, get on this because this, I was excited to do this.
Yeah, well, Carol, I'm so glad that I got to meet you. You are doing such freaking amazing things with so many challenges happening in your life. And it's been a real pleasure to get to talk to you and to listen to you. And I really appreciate you being open and willing to share your story. And just like you said, I know that this is just the beginning for you. You have so much, wonderful things, so many wonderful things in store for you. And I just really admire everything that you've done with the time that you've had so far.
Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in there
at the school doing homework.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Carol. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yes, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. That's all for now. Join us next week for another episode of Friday Feels. Enjoy your weekend and stay safe. Be well.